How are we doing, folks? Paul Harrison here on Friday for your Stock Market Express review. Let's get straight into it. The first one is Alliant. Nice upward trending resistance support line. Looks like a pretty decent range as well. With this one, really, you're looking for a good entry point. I would have said, obviously, in hindsight, that is probably the best entry point we had. It may put in another one. If it does, it's going to be a little bit more interesting than what it is right now. Then we have APA, Alpha Papa Alpha. Horizontal resistance line, but really I'm only seeing two bounces here. I mean, we could maybe move that up a little bit to catch that last one, but then yeah, there's a pretty large ratio there. But this is also something that concerns me. Whenever I see a stock that gaps up and then finds resistance here, normally you find it will sit on the resistance line for a little bit and then continue up in that direction. Then we have Romeo Alpha India. Upward trending stock, but I think we've missed that one. Certainly it's moved off that support line already. Then we have Win. Downward trending resistance line. My concern here slightly is this is a pretty strong line of support around about 7.96, 7.8. 8. So I'm just a bit concerned about your ratios on that one. Then we have Foxtrot Hotel November. Upward trending stock. One bounce, two bounces, three bounces, four bounces. I'm not a huge fan of this bounce here. Again, maybe I'm being overly critical, but certainly this is a nicely defined bounce, as this would be if it took off. So certainly nicer trades out there. Then we have ACI. Downward trending resistance line, but I think that stock has already moved. Arch Coal. Then we have OUTR. Upward trending support line. No problems with that. Yeah, again, you just wanted to find a good entry point. If you were to see a smaller entry point come up over the next day or two, that may well be an attractive trade. Then we have Kilo Romeo. Upward trending stock, but good support line, but it looks like obviously it's rallied already, so we're probably about well, a fair amount of time too late for that one. Then we have GPN. Horizontal resistance line, not too shabby. Again, a stock that tends to gap down, so with these kind of stocks you can make a fair amount of money in a short amount of time, but you've got to get your entry point right. And yeah, obviously you'd have to have a look at that. Make sure you get those details right when you're entering there. Okay, GPN. Then we have, what is up next? RXN, Romeo X-Ray November. Horizontal resistance line at 1988. No major issues with that. You've got your bounces within 4 months. There's an upward trending support line here, but yeah, you know, the resistance line is longer than the upward trending support line. Then we have CTXS. A stock that's got a pretty decent resistance line at around about the $75 mark. Probably not ready to trade right now. You'd want to having it sit on that resistance line, and then obviously you're going to use a stop order to get into that trade, because it's only going to be your second bounce. Then we have NFX. Downward trending resistance line. Big up day the day prior to yesterday, so that would have been Wednesday. A little bit of a pullback yesterday, so you know, the next day or two could be interesting to watch that trade for a good entry point. Then we have CVLT. Upward trending stock, bounce, bounce, bounce. Yep, if it gives you the entry point there when it comes down to that support line, no major issues. I do like it when stocks show like this. It shows a linear, that they have moved like that before as well. Again, it's the nature of the stock which I do like. CVLT. Then we have GLW, Golf Lima Whiskey. No idea why that trade was in there. I'm hoping people aren't looking at the downward trending resistance line there, because that upward trending resistance line is longer, and you're going to find a clash one way or the other there. GLW. Then we have ECA. Downward trending resistance line. I would want a better entry point than that. Still a big up there yesterday. If we can get a decent entry point and your ratios work, then no major issues with that. Then HCSG. Resistance line around about the 25.75 mark. I mean, yeah, you could call that a bounce, I guess. I would rather it be more than just a spike. But ideally, I'd rather, if you get the good entry point on that, then that would be a little bit more appealing with that entry point. You see, so much as follows the rules, folks, and you can trade them, but really what I'm wanting you to do is really go for the best that is out there. Delta, 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 upward trending stock, enough bounces. Again, may be interesting to see what it does today. If it puts in a nice little entry point and your ratios work, same story. AAP, some support, horizontal support at 79.30, but yeah, I mean, I guess you could use a limit order on that trade. Yeah, it certainly changed its nature a little bit. It was very strong upward trending, but now it's starting to hold into that's the horizontal support line. Then we have NOG, November Oscar Golf. Downward trending resistance line, bounce, 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 come up there now. No major issues with that. Again, you're going to have to do your calculations to work out what you're looking at. But it is Northern Oil and Gas, so obviously there is additional pressures on that. Then we have RHT, Red Hat, I think. Yep, downward trending resistance line. It's a stock that's been traded a few times actually, because it does, comply with the rules. It sticks with the rules quite well. But again, I mean, nothing. I don't see any other concerns there, with the exception of possibly where your ratios are going to be. That's my only concern on that. Then we have NBR. Downward trending resistance line, where the stock is at the moment. There is also some upward trending support though, so be aware of that when you're actually calculating your risk-reward ratios. Then we have PSEC. Horizontal resistance line around about the 11.45 mark. Yeah, no major issues there. See, it's put in a nice little entry point here, folks. It's put in sort of nice little indecision here. Really, that is pretty much textbook. If I was going to clear zoom, yeah, I mean, no issues with that. It gapped here a little bit, but it hasn't gapped in about a year's time. So it gapped a little bit there, I guess, and a little bit there, but nothing that's going to be horrendously terrifying. That's PSEC. Then we have TEF. This is a stock that's got good support and resistance, but with this stock, if you're going to trade it, you need it's hugely gappy. You need to have a good temperament for risk with it, because this stock really can gap quite significantly. Obviously, you probably find it's traded a lot out of the hours of the UK, or out of the US hours. But as far as the support and resistance goes, no huge issues there, but the gapping is a little bit of concern. Then we had AZO, upward trending support line. Yep, it's come down there, sitting on there. You'd have to use the low of the bounce as your stop loss. Again, folks, you're all following the rules. I'm just trying to show you here to get the best of the best. Horizontal resistance line at around about the 273 mark, 274. The longer term trend is up. But again, it's a big stock. It's a very, very big stock. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get caught on the wrong side of that trade. When these big stocks move, they can make you a lot of money if you get on the right side, but if you get on the wrong side, it can cost you a lot. Upward trending stock, no problems. The highs are getting higher, which I like. Decent entry point there, I guess. Not the greatest, but decent. No other. I tell you, folks, there's no one who can say they don't have stocks to trade. They really, you know, if you would have been around here about what, last September, that's when I started bringing. Was it last September or the year before that? God, I'm getting old. Yeah, I think it maybe was last September. But really, the changes it's made has been incredible. So we've got the support line here with AXLL, which is just below the 40. You've had numerous bounces there, so you potentially could use a limit order on that if you wanted to. But obviously, if you prefer the confirmation and change of direction, then a stop order is always good. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that's been helpful for you. I do apologize being slightly late. I'm going to get it processed now and send it out to you before the market opens, so you should be able to watch it. And all the very best. Have a great weekend. Speak to you next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.